welcome back to 843 TV at the City Hall in Beaufort. And now we're going to be talking with Matt St. Clair, who is the Director of Public Projects and Facilities. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Now, you've got a little military background, so talk about that with us.
I do. I did 30 years in the Marine Corps. I had the privilege to stand in the ranks beside the most awesome young men and women that make up the Marine Corps. Like I say, for 30 years. Retired in 2018. My last assignment was as the Chief of Staff for Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Paris Island.
Well, we thank you for your service, number one.
Yes, that goes hands down. So we know you're new to your job. Tell us a little bit about what your responsibilities are at this position that you have now.
As the Director of Public Projects and Facilities for the City of Beaufort, I am responsible for the upkeep of all the facilities that the city owns. As well as oversee and be the project manager for any type of new construction projects that the city may undertake. I'm also involved in or have oversight of the efforts of the city to mitigate the effects of stormwater and rising sea level in the area.
Oh, interesting. All right, so you are part of the hurricane task then.
Oh yes, heavily involved in the
It's kept you busy the last few years, extra busy for sure.
Absolutely.
Now there has been a lot of growth and development over the last few years. What are some of the projects that are currently underway?
Some of the major projects that they're currently underway is a major streetscape project on Green Lawn Drive, which is just up from City Hall. Complete resurfacing of the road, add sidewalks, curbing, taking all the above ground utilities and putting them underground. So it'll really open up that area and allow for the residents and businesses that are there to really enjoy the improvements to that roadway. Doing 3 simultaneous projects down at the Arsenal building, which houses the visitor center for the City of Beaufort as well as a museum. We're changing the upper roof and the lower roof of that facility, changing out the windows, as well as doing some modifications to the restroom facility there. So that's a challenging project because it's a historical building.
Right.
So there's a lot of nuances that are involved in that, but we're excited about that as well. A lot of ongoing projects related to the city's efforts to mitigate stormwater. We partnered with the University of South Carolina, College of Charleston, the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium, as well as the Carolinas Integrated Sciences and Assessment to produce a flood vulnerability assessment that will provide a model to the city showing impacts of large rain events as well as the impacts of rising sea level that the city will then be able to use to inform our ongoing efforts of projects to mitigate against the rising sea level as well as the significant rain events. Help with maybe a future design as well as resources that will be required to facilitate those ongoing efforts and future efforts.
You know, that's interesting because that is such a big issue, all the flooding that it does happen here when we do have those rains. You know, what I'd like about the story though also is that you're tapping into the education programs in Charleston. You know, it's all this thread, you know, Lisa, talking with Base Camp and 8/4, you know, what we do, and knowing that you're looking for the educations for these programs that can help us here, right here in Beaufort, and everything we've been talking about. I like that so much to hear that. So let me ask you, that's our immediate goals. What about long term? What is the next vision once we get that part under control?
Well, the city has its strategic objectives, the 6 strategic objectives of the city, and one of the main objectives in that, or one of the significant objectives in there, is the ongoing efforts to address stormwater and rising sea level. So that will take the city out for years to come.
Yeah.
Significant, several big projects have been recently completed towards that. Cleaning out of the Janeway Canal, completed a major project over at Twin Lakes Road, and that's because we're in the low country, and you know, we're essentially at sea level or just slightly above it, and addressing the 9 identified challenged areas within the city is a long-term project for the city, and a lot of subject matter experts are involved in that, and we have a good plan in place, and we're just looking to continue to whittle away at it.
Yeah, well, it's a big project.
And finally, let's talk about your relationship with the city's Public Works Department.
Yeah, the Director of Public Works, I see us, we have I use an old military terminology, supported and supporting relationship. The Director of Public Works has I think the unsung heroes of the city, and they maintain the over 30 parks and green spaces in the city. They maintain the streets, the drainage, traffic lights that the city owns, that when they go out. They're maintaining the facilities, the marina, custodial crew that ensures the cleanliness of the facility. So. And a small admin staff, and then the division that maintains all the vehicles and all the equipment that they use every day. I mean, you see them regardless, raining, cold,
they're out there
100
working.
degrees, they're out there working. So I provide him support where he needs it, and then I'll have to come to him and ask for his team, his crew down there to maybe go and move something or address an issue that's been identified, maybe as I get out about the city, or it's something that's come up from a concerned citizen.
Right.
We rely heavily on our citizens to bring things to our attention. It's a daily relationship. We work hand in hand together, and without those men and women down in Public Works, the city we just wouldn't be able to upkeep it.
You know, Matt, thank you for sharing this, because that is such an important part of our community. So I want to thank you for sharing all the good details. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us. This is 843 TV,
Where communities come to speak.